Alright guys, in this video I want to talk about a very important subject, one of the biggest mistakes that natural bodybuilders make, and of course that I made in my first show. Alright, it was a mistake that did cost me a lot. Alright, and looking back at it, I see a lot of people doing that mistake and not understanding why they're feeling so bad, why they're not getting the results that they want, and also why their brain is just not functioning and their prep is just super hard. All right, let's jump straight into it. I've just done my last show. It's been also a week, and last 2 to 3 weeks of the prep was miserable, guys. Miserable. I was waking up every single morning hating every second of it. You know, we say enjoy the process. Well, I was hating the process, and you could tell from my past videos. And now that I'm post-show, that I reincorporated something in my diet that I will tell you a little bit more about. Just hang on. I'm not trying to keep you on as long as possible. I want you to understand what happened to me. I feel so much better. So guys, I couldn't get a boner. My brain wasn't working well. I had no energy. I was kind of depressed. And I really felt that my hormones were on the floor. All right? Come to realize, after I finished my prep, that I was pretty much, those last 3 to 4 weeks, I was consuming only 1 egg yolk a day. My fats were only coming from 1 egg yolk a day. We removed most of my beef. We removed all my beef. So no fat from meat. I was eating mostly white tuna. And the only fat source I was getting was from 1 egg yolk a day. All right. And the thing is that as a natural, we rely on fats to produce our hormones. Someone that is enhanced. My coach is enhanced. So probably for him, he's been coaching mostly enhanced athlete. And I believe he did kind of think that because it worked on someone that is enhanced, dropping the fats that low, it could work for me. I mean, I think it's just trial and error with every single person. I'm not blaming him by any means. But what I'm saying is that maybe I don't see any natural reacting well with low fat. And I really believe that as a natural, because we gotta make sure that our body's still producing testosterone, our hormones are still in check, our brain is functioning well, 15 grams of fat is just not gonna cut it, all right? I was doing some studies and some research, and now I'm confident to say that if you're natural, you would need a minimum of 0.5 grams per pound of body weight. All right, so if you're 150, you would need 75 grams of fat. If you're 150, if you're 200, 100 grams of fat as a natural. All right, and now that I started reincorporating 3 egg yolks a day, at least a bit more peanut butter, even if my calories weren't bumped up so much, and I didn't much increase the carbs, the first thing that I did post-show in my diet now was increasing back my fats. And man, I can tell you, I'm feeling like heaven. I feel like so positive. I feel so good. Yes, there is the stress of the show that is gone, but guys, I had no libido. I couldn't even get a boner. Trust me. It's humiliating when, you know, yeah, I couldn't even get a boner. Yeah. So can you imagine how bad I was feeling for the first 3-4 weeks? But in my mind, it's like, you know what? I'm gonna tough it up. This is bodybuilding. I gotta just suffer and all. But no. Now I'm seeing so much different ways of doing my prep that's gonna be so much ideal. I much rather drop my carbs now. Yes, I want to keep my carbs for my training to make sure that I'm performing well at the gym. But guys, don't drop your fats too low. And a lot of natural lifters will drop their fat way too low, and for the sake of cutting calories and shredding down. But I would even argue that at a certain point, you're better off even dropping protein a little bit and keeping those fats and carbs a little bit higher. All right. Yes, protein will satiate you and all, but at this point of prep, you're not building any muscle. All right, so you want to make sure that you're still performing at the gym. That's why you're getting your carbs, and you want to make sure that your hormones are still in check. All right, because also, guys, if your testosterone levels are dropping, well, your muscles are not gonna be. You're not gonna be able to maintain your muscles as much, and you're not gonna be in a good state to maintain that muscle mass. All right. So now I really want to optimize and prioritize my hormonal health, and that is why my fats are getting higher. I'm not gonna go above, let's say, 75 grams a day, but trust me, just adding a bit of peanut butter in my pre-workout meal, some more egg yolks, some more fats, some more fattier meat, I just feel so good. Yeah, that's it. A lot of natural bodybuilders will replicate what someone enhanced is doing, but remember, they can really go zero fat because they are getting external help from PEDs and getting all that external, let's say, testosterone boost. But we are not. And for us, we do need to get at least 0.3 would be the minimum gram per body weight. So if you're 150, it would be a minimum of 45 grams of fat. I was doing 20, 15, 20, one egg yolk and maybe a bit of fat coming from my protein shakes, so you can figure I wasn't feeling good at all. And now it comes to think that, the mindset of you gotta suffer more to get more results. That's not the case, because I've suffered this prep. It was my first prep, but I've suffered. I haven't even went out. I haven't even had a drink. I didn't cheat for over 20 weeks, all right? The only fun times was probably my refeed. I did my cardio. I did my training. I followed the plan to a T. To a T. What happened? I didn't look as good as I wanted. I actually lost a lot of muscle mass and I felt very bad. All right, so now my next prep, I want to coach myself because I know my body. I know how I'm going to feel, how I'm going to react, how much fats I would need to feel good. And come to think that it's good to have a coach, but I think that the more you know your body, the less you would need a coach. You might need someone that gives you an external opinion, like someone that would tell me, hey, you look watery here, or hey, maybe your glutes can come up a bit. But having a coach that will tell me exactly what to eat, while I'll know that this will make me feel not my best, just doesn't cut it for me. I would much rather experiment on myself and blame myself for all the results or the failure or the success. All right. So that's pretty much it, guys. Don't cut your fat too low. If you're a natural and you're prepping for a show, the last thing you want to cut is the last thing you want to do is going under 10 grams of fat a day. That's the last thing you want to do. At least minimum keep it to 0.3 just to make sure that your hormones are still good. 0.3 gram per body weight. So if you're 200 pounds, that's 60 grams of fat. If you're 150, that's 45 grams of fat. And don't go lower. Even if you need to cut more carbs, if you need to cut more protein, don't go lower. Also, another thing is in your peak week, this I can make another video about it because peak week, just the word itself, bring me bad memories. But in your peak week, the first 3 days when you're cutting those carbs down very big, you actually want to increase the fats a bit. That's what I'm realizing. Because what we did is cutting the carbs, but the calories were super low. First day was like 1,300 calories. Man, that's not much, Like, can you imagine what this does to the body? And I wasn't shredding down. That's what's crazy, is that you would think you would get shredded because you dropped the calories. But I don't think that at a certain point, dropping the calories too much will just impact your metabolism, impact your hormonal health, stress your body even more. So now my thoughts on it is, yes, you can decrease the carbs a bit if you want to deplete a bit more, but I would think that after 15, 16 weeks of prep, you're already depleted. But that's when you want to increase your fats, all right? So that's pretty much it, guys. A big mistake natural bodybuilders do. If you enjoyed that video, make sure to like it. See you soon. Ciao.